Hey guys, First Guardsman here, and so I'll be talking about an auto bolt rifle tactical build for Space Marine 2 patch 12.0. Now, the auto bolt rifle didn't really get any buffs this patch, however, the tactical itself does have a brand new perk effect with crack and penetrator rounds, bolt weapons penetrate one more enemies, and non-headshot damage increased by 50%. I actually think this weapon perk is very strong in the game currently, mainly because it just makes your horde clear and all the bolt options just go up tremendously, and it feels really nice to play with, and you also don't really lose anything on your secondary damage like you would with balanced distribution. So today we're building around that. Now, the variant I've chosen here for the auto bolt rifle is the ammo version, mainly for the fat magazine capacity. I'm not really too concerned about the total ammo economy of this thing because we are taking Emperor's Vengeance here, but that being said, having a larger magazine just lets us shoot more, which is like the whole point of this gun. Now, for the perk tree here, I do take Home Precision first. Equip Weapons Maximum Spread decreases by 50% when firing without aiming. This perk will basically turn your hip fire into a laser beam, so you pretty much always pick this up, especially since it goes directly into the next perk, Close Combat. Enemies at a distance of no more than 15 meters take 15% more damage. When you're using the auto bolt rifle, you will pretty much always be barrel stuffing, so pretty much always pick this up. Next perk here is Fast Reload, down here into the perk Perpetual Penetration because it does have pretty good synergy with the perk over here, Crack and Penetrator rounds. When you do body shot damage in this game, the more enemies you penetrate, you're actually getting more value out of that perk, and mainly because most penetration damage in this game will not also be headshot, so up the body shot damage really does up the value of perks like this quite a bit. Next perk here is Headhunter, moving here into the perk Elite Hunter. After killing a majority level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Now, this perk is incredible. You can trigger this off of a melee execute and not just a melee kill, so keep that in mind. But you do have to have your weapon equipped to actually trigger it, and if you swap off of this weapon to your secondary or something, you will lose the effect, so just keep that in mind. Next perk here is Rapid Health. When your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores your health by 10%. This is just a nice little bit of HP increase, but the main reason I take this perk is to go into the next perk here, which is Recoupment. This will give you 1 armor back on a headshot kill on Majorist or above every 15 seconds. Armor restore built into your bolter weapon is incredible, and the tactical class in general does not have a ton of armor restore anyway, so really good for him. And that's pretty much all there is for the auto bolt rifle. Now for the secondary option here, I do take the Retribution's Bequest Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol, mainly because this has the highest gun strike damage in the entire game, and our Heroic Combat Knife here, Argent Edge, will give us a gun strike on every single parry, so a really good synergy there. And also the heroic perk effect here, No Help is Coming, really does help out the reinforcement calls because this allows you to one-shot reinforcement calling enemies on a headshot, so pretty good effect here as well. And for the perk tree, I take Divine Might, moving here into the perk Perpetual Penetration, Increased Capacity, Extended Magazine, and Death Strike. This says after killing a majority level or higher enemy in melee combat, you will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Very similar to Elite Hunter, this will also trigger off a melee finisher. If you swap off your gun, you will lose the effect. Now, I think the bottom tree here is overall the best because ammo capacity is just nice. I mean, up here you have some other perks like Headhunter, but for the most part, just going down for Divine Might is better in my opinion, and all the good perks are just down here on this weapon. Next perk here is Great Might. Up here into the perk Discipline, when you have low ammo, you'll deal 25% more damage. Now, if you're playing on Assault, you would go down this tree for able damage for the class ability usage, but the class ability on TAC Aspect Scan is not really used enough for this to come into play enough in my opinion, so instead we go up here, and then I pick up the perk Strong Finish, Headhunter, Gunstrike Reload, and of course Tactical Precision for headshots dealing 20% more damage. Non-headshot damage it decreases by 10% because headshot damage is pretty much all that matters on your secondary here, even with Crack and Penetrator rounds. Now, for the melee weapon, I do take the new Heroic Combat Knife, Argent Edge. This has the heroic perk effect, Scathing Retort. The riposte window is shorter, but each riposte deals damage. By riposte, all this means is perfect parry, so you're dealing free damage on your perfect parry. But the biggest thing about this weapon is that any perfect parry with the Argent Edge combat knife will stagger an enemy for a gun strike. It doesn't matter if it's the first hit of a Lictor's combo, a Ravener combo, a melee Terminator combo. This is probably the best offensive weapon in the entire game currently because of that, because the major thing that will kill you in Space Marine 2 is being locked down by a melee Terminator or a Ravener in a boss fight. And this completely eliminates that, so really good option here, one of the best options in the entire game to be honest. Now for the perk tree selection here, I do build it a bit differently from other options, mainly because I start with Armored Strength first. If you have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10%. Now, first of all, we are a fencing weapon, so Minorisa do feed us armor all the time, and also this is a very safe weapon in general, so having armor while you're fighting is pretty damn common on this option, and has a pretty good synergy. Next perk here is Sharp Impact. Right and left Skull Crusher AoE radius increases by 50%. This just helps out your horde clear a bit. This is a very slow weapon though, which is why I kind of skip over heavy attack perks like Kinetic Energy here, so I decided to take this for like a bit of horde clear instead. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength and Perpetual Strength for a 10% melee damage buff. Then I grab the perk here, Combined Onslaught, for 10% more melee damage on our light combo attacks. You could take Heavy Onslaught down here. I've just been trying this one out recently. I mean, they're both good options. It is up to you. And next perk here is Tide of Battle. Moving here to the perk Reeling Blow, up into Shoulder Bash, and the final perk I grab is Terminus Slayer. Though if you want to pick up Extremis Slayer instead, or swap this out or this out for Shadow Stab, you could. That is all up to you. I just don't think Shadow Stab is like the most useful thing ever on this weapon because, like I said before, if you're going for a Shadow Stab build, you're just taking the Power Gladius because Power Gladius can get like 360% bonus damage on top of that. But, that's pretty much all there is for my Argent Edge. Now, for the tactical perk tree here, we do take the perk Crack and Penetrator rounds first. Bolt weapons penetrate one more enemy. Non-headshot damage increased by 50%. Even on an auto bolt rifle, this is definitely a noticeable perk for horde clear, and it's even better on options like the heavy bolt rifle, but on this build, I take it because it's pretty damn fun. It'll even buff up the damage a bit on your heavy bolt pistol. Next perk here is Relentless Pursuit. After a gun strike, range damage increases by 25% for 10 seconds. Now, I was already a big fan of this perk back in like patch 11, but in patch 12, it is even better now with Argent Edge because we get a flippin' gun strike every single time we parry. I really cannot stress how good this perk effect actually is, so being able to trigger this over and over, it feels pretty damn good. Next perk here is Emperor's Vengeance. Killing a Majora's level or higher enemy restores your Power Weapons ammo by 1 magazine. Cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Now, I have tried before to use Emperor's Judgment. You might actually see this one in the gameplay. You will run out of ammo all the time if you do not take this perk on the Auto Bolt Rifle. The Auto Bolt Rifle just does not have the damage or ammo capacity to sustain itself unless you go down like the bottom tree here. So I would just pick up this perk on this build. Next perk here is Aligned Aim. Range damage increases by 15% for all team members. I just like this perk on like any bolter build. It makes the bolters feel way better, and the auto bolt rifle really needs the extra damage, so great here as well. Next perk is Vital Data for scanning Extremis or Terminus level enemy, restoring our Auspex scans charged by 50%. I use this perk all the time. I mean, it's really noticeable in a boss fight. You put your Auspex down, you get half of it back, and you can put it down again before the fight ends. Really good perk here, though I will say priority targeting is also pretty decent. Next perk here is Precise Calibration and Concentrated Fire. This is like the ultimate Auspex combo. It'll up your Auspex damage by 195% and make it last 60% longer. And even though they do lose the mark here when they leave the scanned area, that doesn't hurt you too much because usually the mark area is large enough, it doesn't matter. And on top of that, all the bosses in Space Marine 2, they do have like a giant stagger animation they do. Like Hellroots will do the hammer, the Neurothrop will like do a gigantic scream, and the Carnifex just rams its face into a wall. So perfect timing to put this down. And overall, I just think it's the best combo here. Though I will say, if you want to take Battle Focus, you can definitely do that too, because you will get parries all the time on this build. Final perk here is Radiating Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant AoE damage in a 10 meter radius. The cooldown is 90 seconds. If this perk overperforms all the damn time, you just take it. It's a god tier perk. It is much better than Signal Jammer. It is way better than Marked for Death. This will actually like straight up save your life sometimes. I have so many clips, I literally cannot count them all, of how many times that this perk just bailed me out of a situation. It is an incredible option. Just pick it up. Now, for the prestige perk slots, I do take Acuity first for headshot damage because we are a bolter weapon. Then I take Skilled Supplier, Resilience, and Fortitude. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The auto bolt rifle may not be the best weapon in this game. In fact, Saber Interactive knows it's a bit limited on the perk tree, but that being said, it does perform pretty well. It does feel way better with the Crack and Penetrator rounds perk, and hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye. Wrong, please aim for the prime. Ow. Now, unfortunately, we don't do a ton of damage here unless we get really close. I say a ton in quotations. Even at close range, we don't do a ton. That does so. Okay. Very cool. At least we caught him in it for like a split second. At least we get a pity cooldown back. Alright, what's coming now? Ravener is actually kind of scary. I want to get rid as fast as possible. Ooh, these guys are all kind of spooky. I didn't run away from that. All the parry phases.
Ready to reveal our foes. Blessed be this magazine. Prospects engaged.
Yeah, it's almost over because we're almost out of ammo. I kind of want to spend the last bag here on him because that would have been a nice. Perish, perish.
We have cleansed the Xenos stain.
Bang, bang. He felt that. Is this Kraken rounds or primary increases? Kraken penetrator rounds. That's usually what I would take in any automatic weapon in this game at this point for him. Except for like maybe the bolt carbine. Except for maybe the bolt carbine. Yeah, what's up, Kratos? You can tell a noticeable force fear increase here. Now, on this map, there are 2 guaranteed ammo boxes up here every time. Right there.
With bolts and flames shall we smite them.
Why pick the auto bolt rifle and not the heavy? Because I felt like it. The answer to 99% of questions people ask, like, why did you take this gun and not the better one? That's because I felt like it. And not everybody wants to play the same thing all the time. Auto bolt rifle is king. Okay, now I wouldn't go that far. If by king you mean potentially the worst gun in the entire game, it's absolutely on top of something. Okay. I mean, at this point, there's not a build in this game I haven't played, so I just kind of like swap around the ones I actually like. This one, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of the auto bolt rifle, but I do like the bolters in the game. I especially are more effective against Chaos because all the time in Chaos, you'll just get nuked because they lack both the stagger and the CHP recovery to deal with like some of the annoying ship damage in the game. So you're kind of forced to rely on your secondary there, which is kind of boring. And against Hellbrutes especially, like the bolter is the last thing I want. I'm currently playing Space Marine 2 for the first time, playing Tech Marines. Is that a good choice? There's no bad class in Space Marine 2. You can play whatever you want.
Blessed be this magazine.
Or are you having fun in the game? Is a great question, dude. We don't live in an age of fun video games anymore. You must only play the most sweaty option possible at all times. Unless you'd be reported for trolling.
Another alien falls to the Imperium's keen blade. Commencing all space now.
In the grim darkness of the present day, there's only slop. True. It's gonna be me.
And our victory are right ahead. Good. The hive ships are moving into range of the Capillary Towers. We are in Kadaka's final hours.
The only good thing about Chaos is that sniper players can't ruin melee players' fun. I mean, I don't think they ever do, really. I will say there are a lot of builds that feel more entertaining to play against Tyranid than do Chaos.
Ends the foe before he can run.
Do that. That is flying high.
Abomination. I still feel its foul touch. That pitiful Xenos was but an abhorrent.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about Peter Turbo going to war with Abaddon?
Ready to reveal
I have to
our
wonder, you know,
foes.
who do you guys think is going to be the next Primarch to die in 40k? Like, it's coming eventually. Like, somebody's got to go, right?
Not be long now until we are in the
When is the last time they actually killed a Primarch? It was a heresy, obviously, but... I guess the demon Primarchs, you can't really kill them, though. Not really. Not unless you're the Emperor and you snuff their soul out of the warp.
I assumed the reclamation machines would be active.
Okay. What's the, nades here?
This whole system must be activated before we proceed. Wait for the consoles.
They send their strongest, only to see them falter.
Alright, my exit plan has a bit of a bramble problem. There's a nice little curved area, like Crash Bandicoot. It gave me like a little out. How kind. We're at a 7 out of 10 danger level here.
Only after we activate the consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
Why 7, you ask? Could be up to that.
The Xenos infestation is dead.
There's a bramble behind me, isn't there? No, not this time.
Replacing holy orders.
Only after we activate the consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
Where's the exit? Oh, nice.
Reloading magazine.
Oh, nice.
Only after
Stab his
we
ass.
activate the consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
Swapping magazine.
I just want to focus on the current effects here once my auspex is up. If we get like a full barrel stuff in his face, we should be fine.
Perk's ready to scan. Scanning.
Alright, that would have been the opportunity to do it. Oh, this is actually the opportunity to do it.
Only after we activate the consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
Do you know if Techman's getting Death Launch customization? Yeah, he is. We know that for a while. There's actually more Death Launch customization coming to the game in general. It is a bit of a priority for them.
Consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
Blessings extended to the slumbering unit. Awakening has begun. Attention, instance. Communication with console halted. Biological impurity detected. Invasive material available.
Dead here.
Let us find this substance and purge it.
All range spam. Love to see it. Unfortunately, we wasted our radiating impact, and on this build, radiating impact is pretty much like your major form for clear from doors like this, because otherwise you gotta go through them by like one by one and do this. If we don't have secure stockpile or a serious AoE weapon at the moment. Man, ever since patch 12, dude, the AI director's just been like nothing but range enemies.
Reloading magazine.
Well, not nothing, but majority range, it feels like. We look forward to the drift. Yeah, we got a ton of customization coming, actually. It feels like the majority of this patch is going to be customization. We also got a new boss. The new boss, though, has like a tornado attack from the sounds of it, which sounds pretty toxic, I'm not gonna lie. That was a conveniently placed barrel. And a conveniently placed ammo box. Man, this game is dressed to impress for Warhammer fans. I mean, if this game didn't have customization attached to it, it wouldn't even have a year 1 or 2 pass, I'm pretty sure. They wouldn't even fund the update. I don't think people would just buy gameplay for this game. I really don't. I think they'd only. I think people would probably buy more for outfits on Space Marine 2 than anything else.
Blessing has commenced. Communion with vessel
Okay.
complete. Ministerial authority accepted.
Do people really think just this year is going to be the new class for Space Marine 2? I mean, the more likely option is an actual chaplain. Now, just this year's are chaplains in training, but having an actual chaplain just makes more sense. Also, that means you would get to play as Leandros potentially, which a lot of people would probably love. I've seen a lot of people talk about like, oh, librarian. That would be my favorite. I would want a librarian added to the game. That's never happening, as far as like we know. And people asking for Terminators or like, just no, that's not happening either. You're never getting a Terminator for Space Marine 2. It's not anytime soon. Yeah, staff melee weapon would be cool. Arson. I would like that. I wouldn't mind a chaplain. I think that would fit the playstyle really well. It's also, you know, you have to ask yourself, what class archetypes is Space Marine 2 missing? Predominantly, that would be a caster. And, like, a hyper melee focused team support, which is kind of what Bulwark is, but like a buffer more than like a direct damage dealer. Well, actually, no, both is fine. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with the Chaplain. They also have very unique weaponry, like a Crozier and stuff like that. I think Librarian is the obvious choice, but that's just not coming to this game as far as we know. They already said they don't want to do Psycho Powers. They're probably saving that for Space Marine 3.
We have left the sewers behind and
But
are in the
if they ever
fortress
did add a Librarian to the game, that would be the biggest update this game has ever seen, by far. Like, nothing would even come close. Everybody would come back for that. What other Deathwatch armor parts do you think we'll get? I think the Redacted Champion will be Deathwatch. I think they'll be doing that. The Champion pack.
Prospects engaged. Swapping magazine.
I mean, we'll see. Year 3 is probably coming for Space Marine 2, so you never know. Maybe a Librarian is on the table. You know, the people that talk about this stuff is like, it's usually Focus or writes all the community updates and stuff. It's not actually Saber. In a lot of cases. They're the ones who actually, it's the publishing company.
Traveler underfoot. Replacing holy ordnance.
Dude, the Raveners have gotta be the most obnoxious enemy in this game. At least as far as melee guys are concerned.
Order returns. Blessed be this magazine.
Titus getting Psycho Powers in Space Marine 3. I'm pretty sure Titus is just directly protected by the Emperor. It's a little different.
Together we go.
Okay.
Reloading magazine.
But as far as what class I would want to see, like I said, Librarian would be number 1, but like what's realistic, I wouldn't mind a Chaplain. I think Chaplain RP would go crazy too. If you were like, oh, I accuse you of heresy, I think the player base would love that.
Even their champions stand no chance. Our foes push to overwhelm us. Stop them. Replacing holy ordnance.
Any tips on making the game fun? I maxed out every weapon in class and now I'm bored 200 hours. Well, you know, if you're bored of the game, you don't have to play it. I mean, usually if I'm bored of a game, I just stop playing.
Do not let that one come to reinforce. The Xenos infestation is stemmed now.
Perish, perish, perish.
Blessed be this magazine.
That is our way to the battle, my brothers.
Okay. All these fucking snipers today, huh? Riveting. Oh, you fuck. Oh, he almost comboed me there. That was a little very rude. This is the kind of shit that, like, even after thousands of hours of this game, it's so annoying. Like it's just all range enemies. If I didn't dodge that, we'd been pretty cooked there, I think. So good. Could it be possible to see the sisters be added one day at Space Marines? No. Never. We're never going to see a sister battle in this game. There's no, like, where do they even fit in? Sisters of battle are way weaker than the Stardies are, first of all. Also, it's like, there's no real place for them in this game. It's also not, it's a Space Marine game, first of all. We don't even have all the Primaris classes. Why do people keep asking for Sisters of Battle, dude? I swear to God. This is Gooner shit. That's the only reason people want them. I'd rather have a full-blown sororitas game. Yeah, first of all, I don't even give a shit about. I don't think Sisters of Battle were that cool in the first place, but I've never been a Sisters of Battle fan that's not a Gooner for them. At least not a diehard.
The Tyranid Scourge towers above us.
Are we getting a completely different thing? Like, no, we're just not.
We must reach the fortress.
It's never. I would bet my entire life savings that we are never getting a Sister of Battle in this game. As a playable anything.
They sense their strongest, only to see them falter. They are calling for raid. Punish their weakness. Reloading magazine.
When will they add the Emperor himself? Sisters are like rogues, that's how I see them. We're not gonna see them in this game. All these bio workmen. Perish. Autobolt rifle's actually okay at this. Obviously it's no Pyroblaster, but I'll say this, you're probably going to see a librarian in this game before you ever see a Sister of Battle. Call that a value shock. This is where Kraken Penetrator Rounds was born to kill, or something. That's a lot of free damage on these guys. Okay.
You are near the last cannons.
When are we getting caves? I believe the official response from Saver is
We see the console.
play Sniper, he already has caves.
Use this fortress's weapons on the Tyranids.
So that's probably... I should tell you everything you need to know about that. No caves, yeah.
Show the Tyranid the Tyranid aims for us. Wait for this. Press the attack. Do not let them recover, brothers. at it, brothers. Show the Tyranids no mercy.
Auxiliary generators to resume flight.
Alright, there was one more Devourer there, dude. God, I honestly, I fucking hate these guys. They are the fun police.
Placing over the ordnance.
This guy is directly aiming at me. Will he shoot?
This is done. Cannons ready for the Imperium.
Which relic power axe? Blocker balance are the best currently.
Establish service call and system communication.
Fencing? Why is there always like the blind leading the blind in chat? I don't understand. Fencing weapons have kind of fallen off in this game. The only one that's like properly god tier is the
Do not let them
Argent
recover,
Edge.
brothers.
For every other weapon type, I pick something else.
Keep at it, brothers. Show the Tyranids no mercy. The Tyranid ain't for us. Keep going. We can finish this. The auxiliary generators give us more fire to cleanse this infestation.
Ah, no, by execute. You fuck. That's annoying. Okay, that was actually just rude. That delay.
Rouse the last cannons and
Oh,
keep fighting, brothers.
Oh, they're not. I need the actual AoE there. That's unfortunate. I took a couple gun strikes there. I should not have done. There was a radius on the gun strike, but they were not in that distance.
Take cover, brothers.
That's the only dangerous part about 3 lictors there. If you have no height and vigor, so if you get one gun strike interrupted, you're probably not getting your HP back.
Reloading.
We must replenish the last cannons so we can eliminate these Tyranids.
First.
We eliminate. Auspex ready to scan.
I'm good at using the Argent Edge, so block is the way to go, right? Yeah, block is definitely pretty much the same as Argent Edge. If you compare it to Argent Edge, you can compare it to block.
Generator is active.
Though block doesn't give you parrying back on, or armor back on a parry, so just keep that in mind.
Auspex and Fortress
We still have a relic here, so I'm just gonna
return to
keep you pop.
console connection. Service call detected. Synchronization complete. Cannons ready.
And Rage Devourer are very fun.
Take cover,
I gotta fire this one pretty quick.
Do not let it waste poison.
I think we just kill him. Fighting off a whole horde at this HP. Not really something I want to discover at the moment. Also, in a Rage Devourer back there still.
The Tyranid ain't for us.
There we go. What's up, Julius?
The Tyranid Titan is defeated. We can target the towers, Captain. Take the shot on those damn towers and unleash.
Well, I was a little sus at times. We're okay. Auto bolt rifle is usable.